Today we are back in Pakistan, exploring some of the country's most dangerous jobs. As a lot of you will know, Pakistan is not known for its health and safety, and with a horrendous record of 44.2 fatal workplace accidents, it is ranked as the second most dangerous place to have a job, many of which are so dangerous that they don't exist anywhere else in the world. Despite laws, child labour remains pervasive, as Pakistan has one of the highest rates of children working in hazardous environments. For the first time, we will venture into the region of Balochistan, an area off limits for tourists. Here we will be exploring one of the world's largest shipbreaking yards, where vessels are brought in from all over the world to take advantage of Pakistan's cheap and expendable workforce. Then we will pay a visit to one of Karachi's many landfills and speak to the kids paid to rummage through the everlasting pile of toxic rubbish, before finally stopping off at a brick kiln, where workers experience some of the worst conditions in the country. In this video, I will be joined with my dad, and although he has worked hard for everything he has, this is one of the reasons why I wanted him to join me on this trip, to show him that my travels are much more than golden sandy beaches and pina coladas, and what has helped me mould me into the person I am. Let's crack on with the video. Good morning guys, and welcome back to Karachi, a city of between 20 and 25 million. And we're just outside our hotel here. Me and my dad are waiting for our guide to arrive. And things are very, very heavily militarised. There's about 3 or 4 vans loads of soldiers, of policemen with AK-47s, machine guns. But that is the reality of life here in Karachi. And that is the reality here of life in Pakistan. There's obviously still many underlying issues, there's many risks. But today we're heading outside of the city. We're heading to a district called Balochistan, where hopefully we can explore and learn a little bit about the world's most dangerous jobs. So let's get on with the video. As we entered the region of Balochistan, which in fairness is completely off limits to foreigners, we were pulled over by an undercover policeman who insisted we return to the previous checkpoint. After around 30 minutes of deliberation between my guide and the police, it was decided it was too dangerous to allow us access. Who was that?
They are asking for permission.
Oh, okay. Permission to go to where exactly?
To go anywhere in Balochistan, basically.
That's what I thought, yeah. Balochistan is the entire western region of Pakistan, and the situation is completely unstable. My guide informed us just a few days prior there were attacks not far from where we were headed, so we decided to return to Karachi and try again with a new guide in a few days. This is the reality of travelling around Pakistan. But fair play to my dad, who didn't seem to bat an eye at the fact that his son was trying to sneak him in to one of South Asia's most dangerous regions. We're just around the corner from the checkpoint in the police station, and we have been refused entry to Gadani. So yes, this entire region of Balochistan and Gadani is pretty much off limits, but I hear they did have a little bit of an issue a couple of days ago, and that's why they've just completely closed off the region for any sort of tourists. Normally if you have a permit it's okay, but permit now just takes up to a week to get. As we make our way from Karachi to Gadani, we have been passing through these little tented communities where people are living in these makeshift tents and clearly are falling apart. You know, there's like tarpaulin, they're made from sticks and really, really basic. And it's quite hard to see as well. You've got kids playing in the river, which is more like sewer water. Even from our guide says it's not even worth touching, let alone swimming in. And he's seen a guy filling up his water bottle. So yeah, really, really difficult to watch, but that's, I suppose, reality of especially coming outside of the main cities here in Pakistan. Alright guys, so this is what we have been waiting for. We have arrived here in Gadani in Pakistan, and this is the famous shipbreaking yard of Karachi. And as you can see, this is one of the many ships that are brought in. You have fishing vessels, you have cruise liners, and this one here is an oil tanker brought from companies all over the world and left here. And you can just see that this is an absolute death trap. It's incredible. It doesn't take a genius to work out that it's really, you know, even us, I think right now we're probably too close, but you have workers here up at the top who are wearing absolutely no PPE, no hard hat, no masks, and the risks here are very, very real as well. You know, there's every toxins, you have fumes, you have PCBs, you have black oils, brown oils, asbestos. That's all handled by hand. These guys are working on these boats probably the rest of their lives, and it's going to take 10, 15, probably 20 years of their life. And that is because, of course, labour here in Pakistan is very, very cheap, and life in Pakistan is very, very cheap, which is a real shame. So these boats are brought here at the end of their life, and they're not actually cleaned by any of the companies who used to own them, so that's left to the problem of obviously the companies here. You can see down this bay you have 1 yard, 2 yards, 3, I think there's about 4 yards here. There are 3 teams. The cutting team up at the minute will cut through, they'll cut the boat into sections. I think on the right hand side you'll be able to see these dark lines down the outside of the boat, and that's they've cut the outside of the boat, and then what they'll need to do is cut the inside. So they'll cut this boat into sections of maybe 10, 11, 12, and then as they cut the inside you can just see the sparks there on the right hand side as well, and then the front will fall off. They'll take it into the yard and they'll take it apart there for recycling, whether it's used for doors, whether it's used for, you know, melted down into rebars and sold in Pakistan or anywhere else in the world. Very, very interesting, and again, that's why I like to come here, you know, because it shows that how life and the reality, and I say this all the time, really is sad to see in some of these places around the world I visit. But these are the guys just happy to make a living, happy to earn some money, and yeah, welcome to the shipbreaking yard here in Gadani, Pakistan. Do you know how long it takes to finish, complete? How many years?
No years, no.
Months?
Months? We know, yeah. Phew. Only months.
Only months, like 5, 6?
No, come. I think 2 and 3 months, yeah, 4 months, 3 months, yeah.
2 and 3 months, and this
Must
will
be some number of men in it.
Wow. And how many men? Like 5, maybe 20?
Maybe 20, 15.
20. Well,
yeah.
it's not a big team either.
Big team.
Yeah. So our guide was actually trying to get us access, but as we got closer, obviously there's a couple of guys behind us who are maybe having their lunch, or maybe they're the managers just overseeing the whole thing, and they told us to move away. And just as we moved away, you could see some of the debris fall from the front of the boat down just in front of me here beside one of the chains. So yes, the risk is very, very high. Even for us, we've only been here, 10 minutes, and already we were pretty close. But these guys, they incur this risk all day, every day for the rest of their lives. You speak English? No? Can I ask him just what his job is?
क्या काम करते हो?
ऊपर बत्ती रिपेयरिंग
Helper.
20 साल
20 years.
20 years.
20.
You're young, eh?
Yeah.
And then how long, how many
कितना
years?
time हो गया
इधर
आपको?
1 साल हुआ
1 year.
1 year, okay.
Just started then.
Does he know the risks? Does he know it's dangerous? He knows?
कह रहा आप जानते हैं ये खतरनाक है?
हाँ खतरनाक है
And it's no problem?
Oh, no.
No,
His
issue.
job. His
Okay.
job.
How much does he?
1700 per day.
1700 per day,
Yeah.
which is
Like
5 per day.
50,000.
1 month.
Oh, 50,000 for 1 month.
Yeah.
500.
50,000 Pakistani rupees.
Good
Because
pay.
it's high risk.
Good pay for
Okay.
yeah, I think.
No hard hat or gas mask or
Correct. Mask,
or gloves
ओह वो सारे मौजूद हैं
हाँ.
दो पर है
inside.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's no problem so far. So he's not injured.
No.
Everything okay?
Okay. कह रहे हैं अभी कभी कोई मसला तो नहीं हुआ आपको, कभी जख्मी हो गए हो, कभी
नहीं सेफ
safe.
Inshallah. That's us now walking through what is, I suppose, the shipbreaking yard. So this is where they take the materials from the boat and store them or cut them down. So at the front, obviously, you have the chains, you have other bits and pieces, but it's actually well organised. Here on the right hand side, you have a couple of guys enjoying their lunch. I think they're the managers because they've been hanging around there for a couple of hours doing very, very little, apart from telling us to keep away from the boat. Here you have other items, miscellaneous items such as cranes that wouldn't be seen on every boat. And yeah, here as well we have probably what you would get on the majority of the boats, which is sheets of steel. So these are the steel that's found on the body of the boat or inside, which separates the compartments, whether it's used for oil or fish. And here on the right hand side with more cranes, we actually have some of the lifeboats, which you would find on, I suppose, every boat that will come into the dock. And this is a perfect example on how they are left before they come in to the bay here. So there's not one item taken, obviously personal belongings, and that's about it. In terms of the toxins, the waste, even the lifeboats are left here to dispose of by these companies, which is a real shame. Many of the problems from the west and everywhere else in the world are taken here and just dumped, like this boat, on their shores. Shukriya. Wow. How much was the ice? Yeah. And then people buy this for their fridge or freezer?
For cooling their water.
Oh, okay, cooling their water. They're drinking water,
Yeah,
right?
drinking
Oh, okay. How many of these big blocks would he sell every day? Shukriya. Shukriya. As we drove through the city, we came across one of Pakistan's many landfills, where much of the rubbish created from the city's 25 million people ends up. As much as I love Pakistan, even a blind man on a galloping horse would see it as a major issue with waste, with a lot of the streets and footpaths covered in rubbish. Shortly after arriving, we were approached by some of the workers who turned out to be young Afghan refugees who escaped their country when the Taliban took over in 2020. And being illegal immigrants, they are severely limited on what jobs they can do and have instead settled for shifting through this landfill in search of recycled material they can sell on. Let's see what they had to say. Right guys, so we have just arrived at one of Karachi's largest landfills here. And although you can probably appreciate, well, just in front of me here, you can probably appreciate the rubbish that's behind me. You cannot appreciate the smell and the heat. It's absolutely incredible. So, oh my word. We've got guys here behind us, we've got cows as well, shifting through this in this crippling heat. It's so hot. So what we're going to do, oh wow, it's so hot. What we're going to do, we're going to see if we can maybe talk to we're getting a crowd here already, we're going to see if we can talk to maybe one of the workers, see what the conditions like, see what they get paid, and learn a little bit of information. But this has to be one of the most brutal, and I would have to say lowest paid jobs. I was going to say in Pakistan, probably much of the world. You know, these guys are going through rubbish as a living. And as you can see, their age, they're probably no older than maybe 17, 18. So, yes, welcome to Karachi's landfill. Excuse me?
My country, Afghanistan.
Afghanistan? I have been to Afghanistan. What's his job here? Like, what is he looking for? What materials is he looking for?
So they collect all the plastic bottles and plastic materials and then sell it to some area.
If they were to fill this bag full of plastic, how much would he get?
30 rupees a kg.
30 rupees a kg. How many kg would this be if it was full?
You can contain 10 to 12 kg in this bag.
10 to 12. And would he fill many of these bags during the day?
और एक हिसाब नहीं है इधर 4-5 आदमी है हर बंदा 12 किलो 13 किलो ऐसे माल उठाता है
रोज का.
Can you ask him, is there any risks, working here in terms of like, does he get hurt or get ill?
नहीं फिलहाल ऐसे बीमारी तो नहीं लगा है.
Does he have family or does he live with his mum or dad?
घर कोर्टे में इधर मुसाफिर.
How old is he?
मैं 17 साल.
17.
17. And how long has he been working here?
3 to 4 years.
3 to 4 years.
Yeah.
Oh my
14,
goodness.
13 he started working here.
Wow, that's incredible.
बहुत वाला राइट.
And he'll work here probably the rest of his life, or the same job for the rest of his life, you think?
अभी तो फिलहाल यही काम कर रहे हैं बाद में सोच लेंगे कहीं और.
How many hours per day does he work here?
तकरीबन 7-8.
And no problem with the conditions, with the heat, the smell, it's no problem for him.
They bear all these things.
They're used
They're
to it.
used to it.
They're used to it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Manana, thank you.
और
Bye. Okay, we just gave him 5,000, which I think is more than
5,000?
more than a couple of days' wages.
Yeah.
That shows you the reality. The smell actually around those guys was probably worse. Alright guys, let's have a look at the iconic lorries and trucks here of Pakistan. These are quintessential. Don't know if you can see, obviously because of the sun, but let's have a look at these trucks you'll see all over Pakistan, in through Karachi, transporting the goods, the crops, tyres, you name it, it's inside it. This is exactly what they do here. So they have everything from the colour, the design. You can just see this is incredible. We've got the tassels here at the bottom. This is a little bit like, it's like plasticky. And even down to the wheels, you can see obviously the wheels as well. They have little, I'm not sure these are lights or reflectors. And about every part of this, as you can see, has been modified to make it unique to any other lorry you'll see probably in Pakistan. Actually incredible, unbelievable. Chai, no, I need to go. Time. I need to Karachi. I need to go. There's no time.
Our
What's-
YouTube channel.
Thank you very much. Shukriya. Shukriya. What's your name?
Nasrullah.
Nasrullah. David.
Ji?
David.
David.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, sir. Nice to meet you. Hello, sir. Shukriya. There you go. Unbelievable. Anywhere you go in Pakistan. All good. Finally, we made it to one of the many brick kilns, where locals here work in some of the worst conditions you could imagine. From the 50-degree summer heat to the fumes of the kiln, which often burns rubber and coal, not to mention the back-breaking work of moulding the bricks for 12 hours a day. Pakistan is home to one of the world's largest populations of bonded labourers, where millions of people are trapped in a lifetime of debt. The owners of these kilns eagerly hand out loans at rates they know many of the workers cannot repay. Walking around, you'd be forgiven for thinking it was a local playground with a number of kids. But like many jobs here, the young generations are thrust into it at an early age. We got chatting to a few of the locals to see how they deal with working in such a dangerous environment. What is the monthly wage?
From 5 a.m. in the morning they come, start working, and then until 8, 9 in the night. So he makes like $3 a day.
$3 a day. Does he live in the area as well?
His house also here.
And his family too, yeah?
Yes.
Does his family work in the brick kiln?
Yes, children also work with us.
And how old are their children?
2 are children small and 2 are aged, married.
And the small ones work in the...
Yes,
Well,
they
what are their jobs?
They work daily labors in the vegetable market. Some work, some help him with here the brick factory.
And is his health okay working here?
Very difficult job, very hard work. Because there is no, they use burning stuff, and it's not good for their lungs and things, but they have no other option left.
Do they work here?
Yes, they also work here.
And are Pakistani?
Yes, Pakistan je Peshawari. Peshawar. Mardan, they're from Mardan.
Mardan. And do they know their age? Do they know how old they are?
Umar sona de. Umar de sona de. Is 1 year, 5 years, and 8 years.
And this is the sister, that's looking after the two brothers.
Yes, after two. But they also help their parents in the brick factories, helping them, support them, like in the work.
Yeah. So this is his job then, is obviously to fill the kiln with coal.
Yeah,
and that obviously
changing
keeps,
them all the time.
That keeps the heat up. There's a lot of heat coming from the ground here. And currently what we're standing on, the area beneath, which is full of bricks, is currently on fire. As you can see, whenever he lifts the cap here, you can see down into the kiln. Now this will reach temperatures of up to, I'm not entirely sure what they are here, but certainly at home, it's about 1,000 degrees. Yeah. Are these guys in family or?
They're from one area in Peshawar,
What is life like as a worker in a brick kiln?
This is like a death. Very tough life.
Yeah. And what are the ages of everyone here?
16, 17 years,
16.
he doesn't know.
Wow.
This is 18 years.
And the gentleman here, his age?
40 years. 25 years he has been working.
25 years he's been working here.
In the summer it's like 46, 48, 49 centigrade. Very tough job for them.
So obviously as they're filling this up now and then they work around, how long until they come back around again?
Like 24 hours they keep them in the fire,
24 hours?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But then they're working shift by shift, like 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours, depends on that.
Okay.
Then they change with each other.
Yeah. And he's just walking in this with his sandals. He doesn't feel the heat?
He said this is easy now this time because the weather is not so bad, but in summer it's very bad, tough for them. They can't afford to buy good shoes,
Yeah, tell him for me it's hot from where I come from.
They say we are used to it now.
Yeah. Oh, you can see actually his shoes burning.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That gives you an idea of how hot it is here. Certainly the ground is a lot hotter. It's not just as bad as what it was here in Lahore and Karachi. Well, what a sad reality there, as you can tell. Some of those guys, some of those kids were like 16 years old, and that guy doesn't look anything under 25, maybe even 30. There was a guy at 40 as well, he looked closer to 60, and that's just part of the side effects obviously is working in such a dangerous environment, and probably one of the reasons why Pakistan, the pollution in Pakistan is so bad, because obviously they're burning everything from coal to tyres, just to obviously heat this kiln up. Assalamu alaikum. We're just over here in the corner of the brick making yard, and this is where they mould the bricks together. So this is where we've got the water, and we've got sand, and we've got obviously the clay. So this is where they mould them together before going into the kiln. So let's see if we can maybe speak to one or two of the
Entire
guys.
family.
So Kaz, so this is one family, yeah?
Yeah, it's one family from Afghanistan and then his nephew as well. They also work here, the children, and also these children also work, help them in making the bricks.
And you can see the young kid here.
Yeah,
This
he's
is
also
so maybe probably in 6 months or maybe a year he's going to
Yes,
be working
hardly
here as
a
well.
year, yes.
How can you ask how old he is?
The mushroom so called 3.5 years.
3.5. So there you go. There's a job that probably an adult shouldn't be doing. You've got a 3.5-year-old kid standing around here. So obviously they're molding the bricks here. How many would he be doing in a day?
Can hardly make like 1,000 bricks in one day.
Okay.
But maybe the family entire, like their work children also help and support. Then maybe 4,000, 4,500. But this is like a whole family.
And then what time would they start and finish?
Some people depend. Some people starts 1 a.m. in the morning, and then they would do until 9 p.m.
1 a.m.
in the
until
morning.
9 p.m.
Yes, because they are very needy people. They have to work very hard. But general people like 6 o'clock in the morning, and then they do up to 2 o'clock. Then they have lunch break, and after that they pray, and then after 1 or 2 hours they start again. And then they do it after 9 p.m.
And are these all done from today?
Yeah.
This is today.
Yeah,
And in terms of molding it, you've only got 1, 2, 3 people are doing all the molding.
molding 3
And
people, and then other ones are helping.
Right, so everyone has their job. And in terms of can you ask them about their health? How's their health?
They have many problems. He has 2 surgeries of piles, you know.
Because
but
he's
he
sitting
is
like
not
this all
allowed
day.
by doctor. He's not allowed to sit and work this, but he has no other option.
No choice.
But other people have typhoid, malaria, and other long-term diseases, stomach issues.
Yeah.
Typhoid is very common. Lungs diseases are very common.
And then he's young as well. How old?
15 years.
15 years. And how many years has he been doing?
Since 2012,
2012.
when he was very young.
Oh, you can tell because obviously he's doing it so well. He's doing it like a professional.
He's in the peak age. It's like his young, like strong age. After that, 30, you become like declining. You know, then it's very your health.
So it's
is
real. So it's almost
deteriorating.
not only is it necessary, but it's vital and important for the family to get their kids into this
Yes,
because otherwise
how
they will
make
not
their
survive.
livings. Yeah. 1,500. That's so we told. Hello. He's mute.
This one.
Okay, we go this
Bye
way.
bye. Bye bye. Do they get any days off, or do they work?
No, they work all day.
All day, every day.
No holiday.
Can you ask how many people work in the brick kiln? Assalamu alaikum.
150 to 200. 250.
Brick
And one-
kilns?
Yeah.
Around Islamabad?
No, this
In this
area.
area?
This area.
This area.
Oh wow. And in terms of the number of workers?
One brick kiln is like 150 to 250. Depends on this is the average workers
Okay.
in one brick kilns.
Would he be able to tell us how much to purchase, say, per 1,000? Like how does he sell?
1,000 brick is 14,000 rupees, like $50.
$50.
Like 1,000 bricks.
1,000 bricks. Just to give you an idea of the size of this place, this is just one area of the kiln we were at. As you can see just in the distance, you can see the chimney where they cook the bricks. There's another one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're just surrounded by them. And of course, I think the owner, we got talking to the owner earlier, and he says he has 54 kilns in this area, and each kiln has around 150 to 200 workers, a lot of which unfortunately are kids. But that's part and parcel of what life is like here because it's so low paid. Families need their young kids to begin work as soon as they can. 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old. That's the ages of a lot of these kids.
Should I?
Say hello.
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 Salam.
Hey. Salam. Alright guys, that is us now back at our hotel. And it's days like these which I always learn the most. An absolute life lesson as to how millions of people here Pakistan, how they live, how they work. You know, take the guys at the Landfill, for example. The kids, obviously been over here shifting through rubbish for the past 3 or 4 years. They come over as a result of the Taliban taking over in Afghanistan. They're just happy to work, just happy to be here as an opportunity to live, to try and survive, and that's exactly what they're doing, surviving day to day. And although it's difficult to watch, it's one of the reasons why I enjoy doing these experiences, these trips, because it reminds me how lucky we are in the West, you know, and many opportunities we have, and how different people live everywhere else. But yes, as we're leaving, I think they were getting a few issues from the police, whether or not they're arrested because they're obviously here illegally as they came across the border, or whether or not they were just getting questioned. But that is the sad reality of life for many here in Pakistan. And as I arrive back into my bubble at our 5-star resort here in Karachi.